Hello everybody, this is Devin. Welcome back to another video, and we're doing things a little bit differently this time. As you can see, we have a deck profile in front of us. This is the deck I brought to a VIP qualifier, and then a locals. It started as Unchained Fiendsmith, and then it just became an absolute fiend pile. I want to give a shout out to my team for helping me with this list. Unfortunately, things did not really go as planned. We were anticipating a lot of Yummy and Draco Tail, given just what people are on in the area, where these tournaments were taking place. That did not happen. I played 9 rounds of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yesterday. 6 of them were against canine variants, so yay. I did not play against a single Yummy. I did not play against a single Draco Tail. So I was woefully unprepared for what I did play against. Which again, 6 rounds against K9, 1 against Lunalite, which was a little weird. Chaos Hunter actually is like kind of okay against that deck if you get it on the board at the correct time. We did play against Malice, and we played against Branded, which Contact C was insane for. Retaliating C basically never went in the deck. It went against the Lunalite, but it never saw it. But yeah, so let's go over the actual deck, and then I'll talk some more about the matches, and then I'm gonna show a few combos. I figured it was easier just to do it with YG Omega. So for we'll just go kind of in order here. For non-engine, we have 3 Nib, 3 Fua, 3 Droll, 3 Droplet. Always Droplet this format. 3 Thrust, Talent called by Crossout because we lose to Fua. Ash is like not the greatest, especially into K9 decks. You really need something high impact for them that you can use before the Ripper gets established. But we lose to Fua, so we played the Ash. This deck like straight loses to Fua. There's not a lot you can do if you get Fua'd. You can deck people out, which I've done in testing, and that's always really funny, because this deck can play through like a lot. My third round against a K9 deck, I played through like Ash Bell, Perulia, Veiler, they Azuna'd into a Ripper that I just couldn't out because I didn't have a way to get to non-targeting removal, because my hand was a little awkward, and also playing through like 5-6 disruptions. But yeah, this deck can do apps. This deck can it's weird. You can choose to either like play your hand low to the ground, or you can just combo into infinite. You can, if you don't have to start with a normal summon, you can search whatever normal summon you want. There was one instance where Diabolica comes up because she searches. She can grab anything from grave, and you can dump anything with this and this. So that's why she's here. For Unchained, pretty standard Unchained ratio: 2 Shivara, 1 Shyama, 1 Abominable, 1 Sarama, 3 Aruha, 3 Prison, and then I'm on 2 of each trap. The 4th one does come up more often than you would expect, but it does get sided out going second, because at that point you just thrust into whatever, or if you draw board breakers, you can set them and pop them, so it's fine. Um, I'm not on Blue Dog, which was a blessing, because again, Canine, Lupus, can't target their stuff. Fiendsmith package, 3 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, Lurie, Tract, and Sanct. Sanct is... So, originally this was a Paradise, but you're ending on Desiree, so there's nothing really worth Paradise. Like if you can get into Fiendsmith, you're either getting to Desiree, or you're not going to have any Light Fiends Engrave, or you're not going to have any Light Fiends Engrave to shuffle back for Desiree, or a Lacrima to bring back and dump the Paradise, because you're probably having to use all of your Light Fiends to like make a sequence into Area Leader, because your hand was a little bit subpar. Which, I mean, you know, subpar meaning you do your entire combo, you just don't end with Desiree or any Light Fiends Engrave. So, next up, 3 Tour Guide, Booyo Free Extender, along with the Tour Guide is also Rhino Warrior. Rhino Warrior is unfortunate. Sometimes you just have to send the Shavar to get trap access, and there's no other way to do that. I mean, I guess you could Booyo for an Area Leader and, like, cut this, but sometimes it's easier just to not play into, you know, whatever. Let's see here. What else we got? We got Dark Beckoning Beast. 3 Opening with the Spirit Gates. These are also 1-card combos, because of Summon Sorceress. So, unfortunately, for this, you do have to play the extra brick in Chaos. And this is literally, he doesn't do anything. He's only here because if you have to opening, you go Dark Beckoning, and then you can grab the Chaos because Dark Beckoning can't grab himself. But yeah, that's it for the main deck, really. You know, Mutiny's here obviously because we're in Booyo. For extra deck, the Requiem, the Sequence, SP, Soul of Rage, double Yama. I've seen Yama cut to 1. The second one very often comes up. Anguish, Summon Sorceress. This card is crazy. It fetches literally any card in your deck. A Balaku, good end board piece. You can use it to, you know, extend or combo, and it's just good to go. I prefer using Anguish to go into 4s. And if you end up in a grind game, you're using Anguish multiple times, more than likely, especially against like certain decks that are making turn 0 plays. You're anguishing multiple times, so you kind of want multiple level 4s. Abomination is here. Honestly, sometimes it's just really hard to clear boards, and Abomination can help with that, because he just has high attack. He's the only thing in your extra deck that has 3,000 attack, other than the Loose. So that is actually very relevant. You could be on Agnumde. As you can see, I am not. Agnumde never really came up. I had like, so there was a round where I think I missed a line to OTK because I was not on Agnumde, but other than that, Agnumde never came up because of Mutiny. You don't really have a lot of like, you're using a lot of your like if you like a lot of the time when you're comboing, you end up shuffling back some of your Fiendsmith stuff just because you have an abundance of Light Fiends. So you're not really ending with Lacrima Engrave because you can't really hit the critical mass of Light Fiends in Grave to get a Desiree plus Lacrima Engrave. And then Lacrima Fusion. Most people are on Necroquip in this slot to make an early Caesar. I don't. If I start with Fiendsmith stuff, I'm just committing to Fiendsmith stuff. Because at that point, you know, if you make the Necroquip, you're probably not going into sequence. You're not, like, I don't know. I think I need to test it more personally, but I think having the extra body's better. Like, it came up multiple times where I would Mutiny into Lacrima and revive a Desiree, or even like tracked monsters on field into Lacrima into Desiree just to have an extra body. And Necroquip just does not really provide that extra body. It gives you cards in hand, which is very nice. Don't get me wrong, but for my personal preference, I prefer the Lacrima Fusion. Wave King Caesar is Caesar. Aerial Leader's crazy. I never once used the Grave Effect or Reborn, but Foolishing is absolutely crazy combined with this card. Side deck, 3 Evenly was very, very good. I'm very glad I played this at 3. Hard opening it was great, because it's one of those cards that's like awkward to thrust into. Because if you're thrusting into Evenly, like chances are they've like you've tried, because a lot of people are like kind of playing around thrust and stuff, so they wait for you to establish monsters on field before they start interacting with you. So then this isn't really super relevant at that point. One Raigeki. Raigeki was like okay. I never searched it. Originally this was Dark Hole. In testing, because like, I mean, pop your own Unchained monster crazy. But there were a lot of situations that came up where Raigeki was just better because you did not want to pop your own stuff, because a lot of people were messing with your stuff before you got Unchains on field anyways. So having being able to bait to thrust into Raigeki was just better if you had like a Dark Beckoning Beast or like a Tour Guide or just something random on field. Feather Duster is here. I like Feather Duster with Evenly more than Lightning Storm right now. Sangan searches all of your hand traps except for Nib. It also searches like a bunch of random stuff. So with Sangan, you can't activate their effects that turn. But you search your hand trap, use it on the next turn. You can search the Retaliating, you can search the Contact. You can actually even search Santa Claus and Kaiju monster, because he does not activate the special summon. And then Chaos Hunter. I mean, in the area, there's like 1 or 2 people I knew were on Malice. There were a lot of Malice at the VIP qualifier. The locals I went to after the VIP qualifier was like over half Canine. I think there was 1 Yummy, 1 Anea Craft, me, 1 Branded player, maybe 1 Draco Tail player. Everybody else was on Canine. Dude, Canine is everywhere. I have no clue what's going on. But whatever event you're going to, make sure you are prepared for Canine. Yeah. Let's get into some of the combos. I think I'm going to start with Dark Beckoning Beast, just to show that off. We'll do something like that. Yeah, okay. We're going to turn off shuffling and start. Okay, so starting off, this is the Beckoning Beast 1-card combo. So you're going to normal summon your Dark Beckoning Beast. Add your Spirit Gates. And this particular line, if you have nothing else in hand, does lose a droll. Just keep that in mind. Some hands do. Like, there were instances where I got drolled and kept going, and it was fine, but there are times where you just lose to droll. We're going to add an Aruha here, and this is where we're going to do something a little bit interesting. So with Dark Beckoning Beast, if you want the full Unchained combo, you kind of miss out on Desiree, because we're actually going to go into Fiendsmith here. But by the end of this combo, you're not going to have enough Light Fiends in Grave to get to Desiree, which is a little bit unfortunate, because you're actually going to have to shuffle back the Engraver. And here we're actually going to make a sequence. And this is where you make your loose. So you can shuffle back this, and this, because you want to retain your Yama. Put that there. And then you can go loose, pop this. And we are going to dump... what do we dump here? We're going to go Buyo here. So now you're going to go Aruha 1 to chain block, and then Buyo 2. Grab the Mutiny. And you're going to special Sharvara here. You're going to link these 2 off into your Abao. That way you like have an extender if they try to nib you or something. You can set either trap of your choice. And you have two options here. You can either pop the trap with a bow, or you can, again, retain your a bow reborn. So, we are going to Mutiny here. We're going to make Aerialator. So we need two with the same type, which is why we have these two left. So again, out of Light Fiends. So we can go Aerialator, Aerialator effect. Aerialator here is going to dump the Shyama. We're going to use Shyama Grave effect, pop this. We're going to put the Shyama here. And then we're going to go this effect. You're going to special summon your Sarama here, that way you can get access to your trap. So what you want to do is you are going to... Sarama? Set, and then you're going to pop your sequence, because you kind of just don't need it anymore. And then you want to pop this. You do not want to destroy Sarama effect. And then you can kind of bring out whatever you want. If you want a bomb access later, or even just Rakea. And then here you need to... Yep. Okay, so here you actually have to use your bow discard. And you can bring back, you know, whatever. For this particular instance, we're going to bring back Yama. And we're going to use Yama and Rakea. Make the Rage. And then we're going to end on Caesar. And we're going to put Caesar over here. We don't have a Shivara in hand to pop it, so this is just protection with the loose. So your hand is pretty good here. You can bring back, you know, if this gets outed, or, you know, bring this back for follow-up. You know, you could have probably ended on, like, Desiree Caesar instead of this particular board. But this is, you know, full Unchained access. And because you have Mutiny in the grave, and you can add it back and then shuffle back your... you can add back your Aerialator, or re-special summon your Aerialator, get it back into extra deck, remake it, and get back access to your Fiendsmith stuff. For the next combo, I did say Sanct was a... I believe I said Sanct was a 1-card combo. Sanct 1-card combo. Here we go. This is another, like, really awkward if this is your only starter. It does things, but it's really not the greatest. So we can go like that. Dump Engraver, and then you have to bring back your Engraver. And then actually for an extra body, I don't think you have to. You could normal summon just a random card in hand, if you need, like, the extra body. But you have a couple options. You can either go for Yama, and then, like, normal summon like an Aruha or something, and link into stuff, or you can go for Sequence. And again, we only have these two Light Fiends because we had to start with, if you start with Engraver, you can actually go for the Lacrim Infusion and do more. But we're gonna have to go for Aerialator here. Go Aerialator effect. And here you actually, this is where things get a little awkward. You have to go for Rhino Warrior. And then you Rhino Warrior, dump the Diabolica, and then you're going to Diabolica, add back the Rhino Warrior. And then you're going to link these into Summon Sorceress. And you're going to give them the Rhino Warrior. And then you are going to special Booyah. And now you get to go into a bow. And then you get the Booyah effect. Add back the Mutiny. And here, you're gonna make a loose. So you're gonna shuffle back this, and this. Make your loose. So you're gonna loose target. This is where we dump. Okay, yeah. This is where we dump Shivara. We get to go for Shavara effect. Set either trap of your choice. And you do need, for this particular combo, you do need a card to pitch with a bow, because you have to revive here. And then you have to link this off into Yama. Then you grab your Aruha, and then from here you just do, you know, Unchained combo. You pop that. You know, grab your Sarama. Set. Bring out your Shyama. Effect, target, pop. We do not want to destroy spell trap. We'll use Sarama effect. We will grab Shavara. Link these two into rage. Shyama grave effect, pop, special, trigger effect, rage, add back to hand. You can add whatever you want back to hand. If you're worried about people like talent taking your Caesar, you can add the Shavara. If you want to extend and like keep going, you can do that. But we are going to just add the Shavara back to hand for now. If you want to, you can Yama bring back the loose now, or you can wait to do that later. You can even bring it back with a bow if you want it, which is my preference. If I don't want to use the bow to pop, I'll use it to bring back the loose. So we're not gonna use Yama. And then we just overlay for Caesar. And it took us 1,000,001 ways to get here, and we lose to like every hand trap with this combo. But that's what Sanct can do. It can get you into your full Unchained, full Unchained combo. This deck you can do like one card can do so many different things. But yeah, those are just two of the more less typical combos, and I mean, you know, this deck just does so much. Like you can, like if you have like a halfway decent hand, you can like Area Leader Foolish Sangan, or like summon the Sangan off of Summon Sorceress. Either add it back with Diabolica, or special it back with a bow, link it off, whatever, and then search whatever you want. I think right now, I think the deck definitely has legs. I think that I think the non-engine choices could be better. Nib, I don't know how I feel about manning Nib right now. I was siding it out a lot. I would probably like take Nib out the side. I'd probably cut a Contact C and maybe like one Retaliating. Put 2 Nib in the side, and then like put in 2 or 3 Ghost Bell. I would probably leave 1 in the main just for cross out. This deck can just, if you get nibbed and they don't nib you at the right point, you do just get to keep comboing through it. That's very dependent on, you know, your hand and the knowledge of the player you're playing against. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more of this format of video, and I will catch you guys later.